All right, we should be live again. Folks, OBS literally just crashed, which was not on my list of things that could go wrong. It was very strange. Like, it just like straight up closed OBS in its entirety. I've never had that happen before. So, oh, sorry. Let me pull this draft back up for you all.
There we go.
All right, so that is the draft. So we will be back after this countdown. So stay tuned. Alright, my friends, welcome back. We are in the game. We have Crystal fucking Tree against the Double Sword Noob Lords. And look at this. It's the Janna invade.
Oh, here we go. I think the Nooblords won it in draft, though. They got the crystal fucking tree on their team.
And they have guessed the one opening in the vision out of the enemy. Although Bonkrank will see everyone coming. He's going to drop this ward as he's running out here. And there's another ward out of Dan. And that ward is cleared. 10G advantage over to Albino Joe.
This is what my team tried to do to him, but they had it warded.
Oh, I better rearrange these picks before somebody notices. Not that there were many of them to rearrange. Yo, look at this. You know, Dan loses a game, and now he's taking teleport in the top lane. You like to see that.
I thought he only took teleport when you played with him.
So did I. But hey, man, losing changes people.
You would know.
Oh, wait a second. Wang is starting at the enemy red buff. That's
He finally got it.
That's a really
finally figured out how to get in there.
That's a really hopeful play, and it works.
It was even warded. That's actually kind of crazy.
I think I'm gonna mouse up there. I don't think this ward sees the red pit. So when Wang, I'm mousing over this on stream. I think Wang walked right here, and no one saw.
Oh my god!
Oh my
god!
god!
Comes in for the gank, and he's got the first blood over the Thrifty Senpai.
The stream only saw like the last hit of that because I was looking at the jungle.
I heard you talking about that. I was like, oh shit, he doesn't
Okay,
know.
but meanwhile, in this bot lane, 30 going out. Albino Joe is way too deep. That heal is not going to do a damn thing as this Ignite is ticking away. And 30 matches with a kill of his own. This is the best thing that has happened in the history of the Double Sword Noob Lords.
This is the best play out of their bot lane all night so far.
And now in the top lane, I'm just Dan. Seems to be some. Wow, this is just this is a fucking fiesta. Are we sure this isn't Wild Rift?
It's playing like it right now. No, Wild Rift would have about 20 kills by 2 minutes.
Look at how hard Dario Chopman is pressuring up in this top lane. He's going to take a bunch of damage. No, Dan stops attacking him. I mean, this is still huge for the Chopman, though. And he knows what the jungle control is like because Wang just fucked up the pathing real quick here. And this is really the hardest situation for a player like Bonkrank who doesn't know the jungle. What do you do when your first clear plan breaks down and you've had a buff taken?
To be honest, I don't know, because that's happened to me when I jungle, and it kind of just all ends right there. We saw he tried to answer back with his own red side invade, got caught, forced the flash out, huge collapse.
Yeah, and I like this out of Shaman. He's getting a big meaty lead up here in this top lane.
He's just going to force it under tower, because he knows Bonkrank is not going to be there to pressure. He's so far behind.
Yeah, and this turns into if Wang wants to control the crabs, he's going to have... I mean, Wang... It's hard to double crab as Ivern, but he's going to have a chance here.
I bet he could do it. Well, Bonkrank might be going for one right now. No, he's coming in for Thrifty Senpai, actually.
Yeah, we'll see here. I'm sure directed camera will... No, maybe the fight won't happen there, but Chopman actually might just take this crab himself. That's actually maybe the better play here.
That's a good play when you're as pushed as he was. Just
it's something
take a crab.
He's very good at. You can tell which people play the jungle because they know when it's not going to be an efficient play for their jungler to take a crab, but that their team has the control of it, so they just go do it themselves. And that's like 100 gold their way. As it sounds like Zed is a little quieter than me, so we're gonna try to turn TeamSpeak Reno up. I just hopefully doubled the volume on Zed, so let me know how that is, chat.
Shit. And it could just be that you're really loud in general.
Yeah, you never know. I'm not ruling that out. So let me know if Zed's louder than me. I'll readjust because I'm gonna be play-by-playing here, and y'all want to hear me throwing my zingers out as people run it down the lanes. But after all the excitement in the first 3 minutes, this game is stabilized. I mean, it feels like we're 10 minutes into this game already.
Kinda does. A lot of action going on. But CS and lanes still relatively even, despite all the kind of insanity of the first few minutes.
Yeah, and I'm very happy for the Noob Lords here. That's they haven't been even yet this season.
Yeah, definitely some new territory for him. 5 minutes. There's still hope. Only down 600 gold.
Although Thrifty playing this pretty aggressively with like no mana. There's the potential for something weird there in the mid lane. Didn't happen.
No, he looks like he was just trying to force something and then take a B. Actually, he's gonna opt to stick around. Well, Bestis goes B. Comes Crank on the gank.
Yeah. He's going to walk over a plethora of wards and other sources of vision and do nothing. Although Wang is here to counter gank if it happens. As Crank 21 CS, that's low for
That's
6 minutes,
low.
and for that's low.
And his red buff coming up soon. Wang probably gonna look to run it back. He's got to make up for all those red buffs he didn't steal.
Yeah, Wang is sitting on a smite, so he's Ivern. If he keeps that smite, he can walk over there and just instantly take it, essentially. But we'll see. Crystal fucking Tree probably content just to farm this out and play slow. They have some scaly boys. I mean, if they can get Xayah and Karthus late, they're going to be very happy about that. This should be a pretty easy comp for them to play front to back. And although here we go, Bonker going into the bot lane. Albino Joe is going to pay the price of his life there. No flash available. Meanwhile, in this top lane, Wang going to try for pressure on the other side of the map. They're looking for some CC on the I'm just Dan. He does have a flash available, so we should be able to just walk out. His Chopman's going to force a flash for flash, but he doesn't flash out of the ult animation in time, and that's a big kill onto the Garen.
But like we talked about in the draft, this bot lane is their chance, right? It's the only lane I think there's a chance they win, and they are kind of getting stuff done down there. 2 kills on Albino Joe already.
Yeah, that's rough. You know, you don't want to see that. What does Muffin normally build first on the Misfortune?
I don't know, but it shouldn't start with a pickaxe.
Yeah, I noticed he started with the pickaxe last game as well, and I think he goes to Kraken Slayer. He should be playing for the swords, but here we go. Whoa, Wang with the steal! Oh, no. This is a disaster for Double Sword Noob Lords, as they are now running for the hills, but all they're going to do there is die. They've given up 2 kills. They've had the dragon stolen. Wang going to just barely whip the snare is the only reason Muffin walks out with his life, but that is a giant play for Crystal fucking Tree.
Well, we said at 5 minutes it was close, and not even 8 minutes.
The snowball,
is it too early to say it's over?
Yes, it is. This is not even this is a 2,500 gold lead, and the most worrying thing for Double Sword Noob Lords is that so much of that gold is on Thrifty Senpai, as he's big early on this Karthus, and we know he can play pretty well on Karthus when he's big early.
Yeah, Thrifty getting ahead early is probably the surest sign of GG in the league, I would think. Yeah, he's so good at getting any advantage early and just snowballing it to an insane win. Unfortunately, Wang not going to be able to pick up another red buff out of the enemy jungle. Gonna have to just be happy with his own buffs.
You know, maybe Wang, he heard about that 4-buff challenge I was laying down on Mash the Splinter, that he knew Splinter was too much of a coward to attempt.
We legitimately talked about it for a minute or two.
Wang's probably streaming this game to his TikTok, dude. Oh, whoa, that was a lot of damage going on. Xayah playing aggressively with the ult, but does not quite get the kill on the Muffin.
Still gonna set him up for some huge tower pressure.
Yeah, that's a recall gonna be forced here. This should be a second plate and maybe the third. I gotta double check the health on this tower. Or he already has the second plate, so he's gonna look for the third, although Rammus is in the neighborhood. But instead, directed camera gonna take us towards this top lane. No, back to this bot lane. His 30 is getting chunked out. His directed camera just does not want to show these health bars on these hit fights.
Crystallize took a lot of tower shots there, and he is maybe gonna be too low, especially if Boncrank comes in. They could make something happen here. He's just kind of was walking in circles for a bit.
They'll walk out of this one. So this is still, now this has turned into a, well, big leads in all 3 lanes. We'll take a peek at the gold here in game. So this is a lot of a lead in the top lane. Actually, not as much of a lead in the bot lane as I expected, thanks to that kill Muffin got. Although there's a lot of extra gold on Albino Joe. But top lane is where most of that lead goes, and we're going to see it in action here as Dario Chopman playing the pain onto the Yorick.
Chopman looking pretty good in this lane, but it looks like the Bong Crank is coming up. Gonna run over that ward. Chopman gonna notice that he is out. Could be looking for a play at the Rift Herald here. He's gonna go on it. They have no idea he's there. Wang invading the enemy jungle. Historically, not a great spot for him.
Yeah, we'll see here. This may end up actually being all right of a trade here. And maybe even better, because Bonkrank is level 5. He is being torn apart by Thrifty Senpai. Will the Requiem be enough? Maybe Thrifty Senpai not going to even use it here. It might have just barely been on cooldown. Now, Wang going to get kind of chunked in this fight. Oh, Thrifty is going to finish off this Shelly. And that's a disaster.
I didn't realize he was only level 5 until you said it. That is...
Yeah, Wang just dinged 8.
Not good.
Yeah, I mean, it's 79 to 44 in the jungle. This is rough, because if it weren't for this jungle gap going on, like, there could be some competitive things going on in this game.
Yeah, none of the other lanes are that far behind.
But it's hard to pick Rammus and then spend 12 minutes doing nothing for your team.
Exactly. He got one gank off that honestly probably would have been a kill even if he wasn't there.
Alright, so we'll see here as Albino Joe, I think he was going warding and he's gonna die. But you know what? That's what a team player does. He pays the ultimate price to drop that vision out. It's actually Albino Joe. He is, I mean, Janus fast, Janus hard to chase into. Rammus is in the neighborhood, but
my God.
Wow, Albino Joe with the great escape. Oh. Rough. Now we're looking at a 5,000 gold lead for Crystal fucking Tree.
That's a lot at 12 minutes into the game.
And so I was just going to say, it can actually be hard to be this far ahead as Ivern, because you can't go forward and counter jungle as traditionally as other characters can, as they're going to easily pick up this double kill. Good Q there on the man. Although Crystallize gonna get finished off with this Ignite, but this is Rift Herald being dropped. This is going to be big damage in the mid lane.
Yeah, they're going to take this tower, and we're still getting plates for this. Oh, that's not even first tower. Wow, that's going to be 2 full towers worth of plates. And a few more in the bot lane.
Yeah, they got almost all of the plates. Yeah, you know, Wang has been bragging about his ability to drop Rift Herald at the appropriate time a lot lately, but Master Splinter calling him out in the chat for dropping that one too early.
Yeah, that was not the appropriate time. You want to get as much of the later plays as you can. They could have gotten a charge out of that.
But instead, they're going to just play for the second dragon. They have this total control of everything related to Summoner's Rifts. And they're going to take their resets. Look at all this gold they're sitting on. 3,300, 2,300, 1,900, 1,400. They will get a flash out of Albino Show. He made it on that big escape without his flash. Are you kidding me?
Wow. That's just some good flash control from him. Like, so many people would have flashed in that situation. You know, to avoid the tower shot or something. Good for him.
Boncrank taking the blue buff. He's level 6, man.
Oh,
do you know how hard it is to, like, for this to happen against Ivern? Because Ivern can't just walk in and take your camps. He has to, you know, sign the peace pact with them and then wait out long enough to actually claim their bounty. Unless he has a smite available, in which case he's using smite on jungle camps. Like, Ivern is the least equipped champ in the entire game to get this big of a lead on, and Wang is doing it.
Yeah, that early red buff and then denying him the steal on Crystal fucking Tree's red buff is just massive. Like you said,
yeah, we'll take
if you don't jungle a lot, it's hard to know what to do.
We'll take a peek at the gold here, and this lead in the jungle is as big as the lead in the top lane at this point. Yikers.
Yeah, you hate to see it. 6k gold lead. What are they looking for here? Yeah, they got 2 of the outers. Bot is low. That could be the play.
Yeah, I think they should just keep trying to shove waves in, really, getting vision in river and enemy jungle, and they can keep just playing this slow to the dragons.
Yeah. Yeah, start establishing some deeper wards. See if they can find some picks.
Yeah, we see
Wang
here, this could be
getting
Wang.
collapsed on.
Yeah, this is a lot of bodies. Wang does not have a flash available, so that is going to be a kill. Unfortunately, not a shutdown. But we'll see here. Wang has his posse coming. Muffin, premature ejaculator, pressing that alt. And now the ult on Maokai coming from downtown. We do see a teleport coming out of I'm Just Dan. This may actually be a little too much for Crystal fucking Tria. They've given up 2 kills now. We'll see here. I'm Just Dan flashing forward, trying to get some slows down. He's trying to pin Zaya into the cage, but he needed to take that cage down so his team could run through. Best is laying down the lasers here, but I think everyone walks out of this one. Crystallized with a sliver of health, and that was actually Rammus going too deep. And now 50 Senpai's trying to turn this fight. They have to be careful because he will put out a lot of damage here, but it will not turn into any more kills. I don't know for sure. But here we go. I forgot about the Requiem. Fatal mistake as Thrifty picks up the kill on the 30 as well. And for good measure, he's going to defend this tower 1v a lot. Actually, he's going to do more than just that because here's the Chop Man. No teleport required. They're going to walk up, take Yorick down again. Dig your own grave, my friend.
Alright, let's go back to that Wang invade. The story of Wang's entire season so far has been invade the enemy jungle, get collapsed on by 4 people and die. That's like the 4th or 5th time he's been caught so far tonight.
Yeah, it's, I mean...
he got lucky in this case that, you know,
he's
Thrifty
lucky,
is huge and
he's
his team
lucky
could
that his
survive
team
it.
has a massive lead and he doesn't have to play well. But it was a huge part of what cost him his game earlier tonight.
Right, that's what loses you close games, stuff like that. There was nothing there. The blue was down. Was he going to take the wolves? Was he going to sit there for 30 seconds or whatever on Ivern?
Yeah, it can be an easy trap to fall into in the jungle. When you're really far ahead in a lane, you know what to do. You 1v1 and kill your opponents. In the jungle, it can be... This is a trap I think Wang falls into a lot. When he has his lead, he doesn't take the smart play. He wants to, like, get the equivalent of solo killing the enemy laner. But there's risk involved in doing that as a jungler. But Muffin, oh, you didn't have a chance there. He's going to blow heal and die anyways. As that's actually Muffin's first death of the game, so that man's still worth all the gold. As Chopman is also going to force the flash on 30, and that's not going to be enough. The ult comes out, but the ult from Chopman, look at that. He's almost full health when 30
He didn't
died.
even need the ult for Muffin. So he had it up to get the double kill. Dragon coming up in 30. Yeah, Chopman and Thrifty, both 5-0 right now.
And this is
massive carries.
This is why I was so incredibly nervous heading into my matchup against this team. Because a team with Chopman and Thrifty has the ability to just do this, where none of their teammates matter.
Yeah, you have the best top laner and the best mid laner. Like that's terrifying. You know,
Well,
if one of them gets ahead, it's not good.
Well, that was the
two
question.
Of them could easily get ahead.
That was the question with Thrifty, though, was at least in theory, there's going to be some mid laners. Bestis is a good mid laner. Renai Circulation is a good mid laner. Can those guys hold up enough to Thrifty? And the Bestis one, it's not like he's played terribly this game. I mean, he's playing the best of anyone on his team, but we'll see what happens here. Thrifty Senpai goes out very early. That's a big shutdown taken by Muffin. Requiem has to come out here from Thrifty. This is going to... Whoa, no! That Requiem did so much damage. Just a double kill from Thrifty Senpai. The Dragon also taken by Thrifty Senpai. And now Shotman going to try to clean this fight up. And what looked good for a split second for the Double Sword Noob Lords is just the longest... or the next chapter in a series of unfortunate events.
That went about as good as it could have gone for them. Their carries got all the kills. They got the dragon. They're gonna take at least one tower out of this. That is a massive gold swing in a game that already they were so far ahead in on gold.
Yeah, they're gonna have to really pull some miracles here if they want to beat their previous world record held by your team of 22 minute and 30 seconds. Any percent, or dub drumless percent, I think we'll call this category.
Yeah, separate category for sure. We'll go for the any percent in a few weeks.
But still, this game, 10k 20 minutes is throwable, but we're talking like...
In theory.
I'm going to put this one 92 to 8 are the odds.
You know, funny enough, that's about the odds on the prediction in Twitch chat. It's 93 to 7.
I did not look. But Chopman going to single-handedly zone an entire team away from even thinking to check Baron Nashor. And that will be secured. Nice smite out of the My Wang. And the end is near. Cue up the dramatic music.
Yeah, they're gonna go get their buys in, and then I think they're just
And now,
we run it up mid.
Zed, I know you were saying at the start of the draft that if there was a way for Crystal fucking Tree to lose this, first picking the Garen would be a really logical way for that to happen. And like I said then, that was a really stupid idea. And I don't see how we could have seen any outcome besides this Garen just running all over.
I think we need to check the VOD on that one, because I think it actually went
the
exact opposite way there.
Oh, fucking... I was tabbing out trying to mute TeamSpeak.
Oh,
I didn't get it out in time.
That was such a bad take. Your OBS is just like, nah, I'm out.
VOD don't exist.
Shit. Alright.
So the
So
Baron
we got the
Siege coming
split push. Chopman does not have the teleport up. I don't think it's going to matter. I think they could 4v5 and win easily.
Yeah, and they're playing this pretty smart. I mean, they have Janna, they have Ivern, they have Karthus. Like, what is Double Sword Nooblord going to do to engage into them?
I don't know, Powerball, I guess.
I mean, well,
Maokai
that may not
out.
happen because the top laner, the tank, going to get completely torn apart there. Victor lays down some damage. They're actually going to pull a heal out of Crystallize, but this is all just setting up for some fat push in the top lane. And Blancrank, that's not your tower. That belongs to Dario Chopman. And look, here we go. They try. They try for a big play with the Maokai, and everyone just walks away because that is what their team comp is built to do.
Yeah, they're sending 3 to answer Chopman. Like, you're not going to catch Garen. Meanwhile, they're laying down some damage on this mid inhib turret. Oh yeah, they're shredding it.
Yeah, that should happen fast. Good play. Good call to Chopman to come group with this team here. Muffin trying to lay some defense there with the bullet time, but oh my god, that damage comes out so fast. And the kill race between Thrifty Senpai and Dario Chopman continues accelerating. 7-0-6 and 9-1-6, and they are not done as they are going to try to get some more. Who will finish with the most kills? The flashes away are happening. There will be 1 going to Garen, none going to the Karthus, but that is not enough for the Chopman to close the gap. And I think we may have had our FF because Spectator really does not like closeout scenarios, but that is going to be another decisive win, and it was not much slower than the last game. 23 minutes and 13 seconds as we leave this game. A big win there. Congratulations to... Oh my god, I don't have an overlay for post-game.
Go to draft and turn off the draft overlay. That's what I did.
Yeah. Stonks.
Look at this damage graph. Yeah, unsurprising. Thrifty and Chopman.
It's a lot.
Shitloads of damage. Bestest one actually not too far behind Chopman. And nobody else on their team really did much damage.
Alright, so that's going to do it for this game, but not going to do it for us, as not only are we about to have Baddie Breakdown, but we are going to be comfortably ahead of schedule, getting everybody to bed on time tonight. So stick around for our first ever post-game